I want you to ask yourself this question, that what if what is delaying your breakthrough, what is delaying your progress in life is your plate? Yes, you heard me right, your plate. That is like, it's not like this one village people somewhere or, but what is actually holding you down is your lack of self-control, it's your lack of discipline. It's your plate that has been holding you down, that is making you not to get to that level that you're supposed to be. Yes, gluttony is a sin and we don't really talk about it, but today we are exposing it. Welcome back to my channel. Please, if you're a returning subscriber, thank you for always watching. And if you're new to this channel, please do me the favor of liking my videos, subscribing to the channel, because here we post faith-based videos, my journey, even though that I might not be all there yet, but I share my journey, my testimonies, and my faith and my walk with God on this channel. So if it's something that interests you, please subscribe to this channel, and you will always not miss, so that you can't miss any video that comes on. So today, like I said, we'll be talking about gluttony. And why this topic, why it came to my spirit to talk about it, is because it's something I am experiencing personally. Please forgive me. This video is not going to be like the regular YouTube video. This is just discussion among sisters, siblings and stuff. So why this topic came to my heart to talk about is because it relates to me personally. It relates to me, so I decided to come share, what God has been dealing with me on, to inspire someone out there and motivate someone out there. In churches, we don't really talk about gluttony as a sin. Because when we talk about sin, basically the first thing that comes to most people had to be, fornication, adultery, killing, stealing. But gluttony, and that is why the enemy now is using it to trap a lot of people. Look at it, because, gluttony has to do with overindulgence, right? Gluttony has to be it has to do with overeating, right? So, eating is an essential part of life. No one can say you cannot eat, no matter what. Even if you are a vegetarian and stuff like that, you still have to put something into your mouth, into your body, so for it to sustain you, to sustain life. So eating is an essential part of life. And that is why the enemy now used this as a tool. That is why when you're committing the sin of gluttony, it is not really visible. You wouldn't really understand it. You wouldn't really know that you are already insane. Because yes, you're eating to keep you alive. But the fact now is that where the enemy comes to play is that when you start overeating, you understand? You start overeating and it starts hindering you. You won't really know that, okay, I'm committing this sin and this is holding me back. I don't know if I'm making sense. You wouldn't really know because it's hiding under a good thing, which is eating, an essential part of life, which is eating. You understand? So the devil comes, use eating, now traps you into it, that when you start overeating, you don't even realize it. You don't even realize that you're off it. You don't even realize that you are in deep in this sin. Yes, this is the insight I got and the knowledge I got recently. There's a verse in the Bible that says, my people perish for lack of knowledge. So this is the knowledge I got recently regarding eating, overeating, you understand? And it came to show me that actually, this thing that most of us, we say, oh, I'm an emotional eater, I'm a foodie. And let me tell you something now. When you say that someone is overeating or you're committing a sin of gluttony, it doesn't really have to do with size. Because naturally when you see someone on the plus size, you'll be like, okay, yes. But do you know, a slimmer person can also be in the sin of gluttony and not know it because of their body size. So I'm not even putting it on the fact that, okay, it's based on one size. You understand? Gluttony can happen. You can be in the sin of gluttony and it can happen to anyone. Every single one. It can happen. You understand? So you see a lot of people, they'll say, oh, I'm a foodie, I eat, I'm an emotional eater, because at some point that was what I used to say. When I'm angry, you see me eating. When I'm happy, you see me eating. When I'm sad, I eat. When I'm stressed, I eat. I just keep piling up food. Until recently, I've been asking God for a breakthrough, regarding some areas of my life. And, I've been putting work, putting effort into it. And it seems as if I keep walking like an elephant and eating like an ant. It's not really going. And I keep asking, well, what's really happening? What am I doing wrong? What is it that I am not getting? What am I not getting right? You understand? And, it came to my spirit recently that, I need to, he said, work on yourself. You need to transform yourself. You need to be transformed. So it's not now about the breakthrough that I'm asking for in other areas of my life, but he said you need to transform yourself. You need to transform yourself. You need to get deeper spiritually. You understand? It started reminding me of, like before I got married, I always remember there was this fasting I did. Was it for like 28 days or something like that? I fasted. I was fasting for 28 days. We had a church service, actually. The fasting, I would do it like from morning till 3, I wouldn't eat, then break the fasting by 3. When I eat that, my first meal, 5 o'clock, we usually have program every day for the 28 days or 30 days. We'll have a program from 5 to 7 or 8 then. So I'll eat, then I'll stop at 5, I will stop at 5. I'll eat 3 o'clock. Church service, I'll go by 5 o'clock. I'll be in the church till 7, 8, come back, I will not eat anything. That was my fasting till the next day, 3 o'clock. And I found that I was really diligent. But, after marriage and everything, kids moving and changing locations and stuff, I found out that fasting became very difficult for me. I found out that, I didn't realize this all this while, but when God was telling me about me transforming myself, I started having a rethink that, okay, come to think of it, even if after marriage and everything, if I want to fast, I found out that I cut corners a lot. I might say, okay, I'm doing, fasting is not just about food. It might be about something, that thing that gives you pleasure. You fast about it, right? So I find out that myself, I'll be like, okay, I'm not gonna, for instance, I'm not gonna be eating, I won't eat bread. Just hear me out. I'll say, okay, I won't eat bread for the next 7 days because naturally I like bread. But I thank God for deliverance because right now it's not about me liking bread, it's about eating the right thing. So back to it. So I find that I might say, okay, I won't eat bread for 7 days. Then in the first 2 days, I'll say, okay, bread, I won't eat bread. But anyway, brown bread, it's better. I start having this thought that, okay, but brown bread is not really bread. Or I might say, okay, but pita bread, this bread they call pita. I don't know whether I'm pronouncing it right. It's pita bread or something. I say, but pita bread is not bread. You see me cutting corners, you understand? I might say, okay, I'm doing a fruit fast, strict fruit fast, and along the line, I'm eating nuts. I'm like, okay, I'm eating banana and nuts. And I started realizing that all these days, maybe I'll say I want to do a fasting, I'm always cutting corners. I'm always looking for ways to cut corners. I'm always looking for ways to, balance it to suit my flesh. I didn't really realize it then. It's just recently when God was working on me that I began to, have a rethink and see the way the devil has been playing me all along. You understand? I started seeing that, okay, I cut corners. I don't really keep to my word. And that is why we talk about, I was lacking self-discipline. I was lacking self-discipline. That was just it. Self-discipline. And it held me down. And it made me so blind that even though I've been having that warning about, getting my life together in many ways, but this last one came on very strong, and I just can't help but thanking God for deliverance, because it opened my eyes to a lot of where I've been missing it. It opened my eyes to a lot of where I've been making mistakes. And it made me to start going to dig into gluttony. Started reading more, went searching, asking what is really gluttony. I started studying what gluttony is. It's studying that it has to do with self-control, having self-control, that, and yes, and it is a sin that many people might overlook it. Sorry, I had to take some notes down so that I don't really forget, even though I've veered off, So, like I said here, I say that food is necessary. So when someone eats, it seems normal. But when food become your go-to-go, everything, go-to-go for everything, that means it's controlling. That is a spiritual trap, whereby food is, like what I said earlier, you're happy, you go for food. You're sad, you go for food. You're emotional, you go for food. That is now a spiritual trap. It is a spiritual trap. The devil has now trapped you, whereby when you're supposed to be going to God for when you're sad, when you're happy, you understand? When you're in pain, when you're troubled, you have to go into food. It's already a trap. You understand? Okay, let's consider. I said that I wrote down that gluttony is excessive uncontrolled eating. When you're eating and you are not controlling, you can't control it. It's not just eating because you are hungry. It's eating when you are not. You understand? Like when I say when you're happy, you just want to eat. It doesn't matter whether you're hungry. I say it's eating because you're stressed, eating because you're sad, eating because you're happy. It's when food becomes your emotional escape, not your fuel. Food is a fuel that, fuels us, fuels this body, to keep moving, because you can't say you can't do without food. If you say you want to do without food, then you cannot survive it. Never. You understand? But instead of it being a fuel, it becomes an emotional escape. You understand? The Bible, in Deuteronomy chapter 21 verse 20, it says a rebellious son was described as a glutton and a drunkard. You drink too much and you eat too much. So, and in Proverbs chapter 23 verse 20 to 21, it warns, it be not be among drunkards or among glutton, eaters of meat. For the drunkard and the glutton will come to poverty, and slumber they will be in rags. So, what the Bible is saying that, yes, that gluttony and drunkenness can lead you to poverty. It can lead to, it's that sin that the enemy can trap you and lead you to poverty. And one of the breakthroughs I'm asking God for is regarding finances too. It's regarding the businesses I'm doing and stuff like that. Regarding finances, you understand? So let's be talking. I also wrote that, the dangers of losing control over food. The dangers, he said, gluttony doesn't really look obvious. Like I said earlier, some people are slim but still they are still addicted to food. They eat all day, they snack mindlessly. They say things like, I'm an emotional eater, I'm a foodie, food is my comfort, and so on. I say, I can't fast, I get angry. But when you lack self-control, that is where the enemy is using you to play potty. You understand? That is where the enemy has now stepped in to use that as a trap, to trap you down. Proverbs 25:28 says, a man without self-control is like a city broken into and left without walls. Like when you don't have discipline, you are exposed, you are weak. The enemy can walk in without resistance. The enemy can just throw anything to you. You don't have discipline to say no. You don't have the discipline to say no, I cannot do it. The enemy can just step into you, do anything, bring anything, and you fall into it. When you lack self-control, you say it's like a city without walls. You don't have boundaries. You understand? So you say gluttony also, I also wrote that gluttony blocks spiritual powers. It blocks it, like in Corinthians 6:12. It says, all things are lawful for me, but not all things are helpful. I will not be dominated by anything. Ask yourself now, I started asking myself, are you dominated by anything? Is anything dominating you? I started asking myself, and I found out that yes, food was really dominating me, because I was being honest. Food was really dominating me.